This is TechCrunch. As governments grapple with how to manage the economic fallout of super intelligent machines, OpenAI has released a set of policy proposals outlining the ways wealth and work could be reshaped in an intelligence age. The ideas blend traditionally left-leaning mechanisms like public wealth funds and expanded social safety nets with a fundamentally capitalist, market-driven economic framework. OpenAI's proposals are essentially a wish list, a public declaration that helps elected officials, investors, and the public understand how the $852 billion company sees the world shifting in an age where artificial intelligence transforms labor and the economy. The proposals were released amid intensifying anxiety around AI, which has been colored by concerns over job displacement, wealth concentration, and data center build-outs across the country. They've also arrived as the Trump administration moves toward a national AI framework and in the run-up to the midterm elections, signaling an attempt at bipartisan positioning. That effort sits alongside a more direct political push. OpenAI President Greg Brockman, who has donated millions to President Donald Trump, and other tech billionaires have funneled hundreds of millions into super PACs supporting light-touch AI policies. OpenAI's proposed framework centers on three stated goals: distributing AI-driven prosperity more broadly, building safeguards to reduce systemic risks, and ensuring widespread access to AI capabilities so that economic power and opportunity do not become too concentrated. OpenAI has proposed shifting the tax burden from labor to capital. The company stops short of specifying a corporate tax rate, which Trump dropped to 21% from 35% during his first term. But OpenAI warns that AI-driven growth could hollow out the tax base that funds Social Security, Medicaid, SNAP, and housing assistance as corporate profits expand and reliance on labor income shrinks. OpenAI wrote, "As AI reshapes work and production, the composition of economic activity may shift, expanding corporate profits and capital gains while potentially reducing reliance on labor income and payroll taxes." The company suggests higher taxes on corporate income, AI-driven returns, or capital gains at the top, a category of policy that pushed Mark Andreessen to back Trump after Biden proposed taxing unrealized capital gains in 2024. OpenAI also floats a potential robot tax, something Microsoft founder Bill Gates proposed back in 2017, which involved the robot paying the same amount of taxes into the system as the human it replaced. The document also includes a proposal to create a public wealth fund to give Americans an automatic public stake in AI companies and AI infrastructure, even if they are not invested in the market. Any returns would be distributed directly to citizens. The prospect may appeal to Americans who have watched AI inflate the market without seeing any of those gains themselves. Several of OpenAI's proposals were also more labor-focused, including one to subsidize a 4-day work week with no loss in pay, a proposal that aligns with the tech industry's promises that AI will give humans better work-life balance. OpenAI also suggests that companies boost retirement matches or contributions, cover a larger share of healthcare costs, and subsidize child or elder care. Notably, OpenAI frames these as corporate responsibilities rather than government ones, leaving out the people AI is most likely to displace. If automation eliminates your job, your employer's subsidized healthcare and retirement match may go with it. That said, OpenAI does separately propose portable benefit accounts that follow workers across jobs, but these still likely depend on employer or platform contributions and stop short of the government-backed universal coverage that would actually protect people AI displaces entirely. OpenAI acknowledges that the risks of AI go beyond job loss, including misuse by governments or bad actors and the possibility of systems operating beyond human control. To mitigate those threats, it proposes containment plans for dangerous AI, new oversight bodies, and targeted safeguards against high-risk uses like cyber attacks and biological threats. But with the safety nets and guardrails come the growth proposals, including expanding electricity infrastructure to support AI's power demands and accelerating AI infrastructure build-outs by offering subsidies, tax credits, or equity stakes. OpenAI says AI should be treated like a utility, and to that end, suggests industry and government work together to ensure AI remains affordable and widely available, rather than controlled by just a few firms. OpenAI's framework comes 6 months after rival Anthropic released its policy blueprint, which laid out a range of possible responses to AI-driven disruption. The company also said, "We are entering a new phase of economic and social organization that will fundamentally reshape work, knowledge, and production. This will require a new industrial policy agenda that ensures superintelligence benefits everyone." OpenAI was founded as a nonprofit premised on AI benefiting all of humanity. It became a for-profit company last year, a shift that has led critics to question whether its stated mission is compatible with its need to grow and fulfill its fiduciary duty to shareholders. The company cited previous ages of economic upheaval, like the Industrial Age, pointing to how new economic and financial movements like the New Deal ensured growth translated into broader opportunity and greater security by building new public institutions, protections, and expectations about what a fair economy should provide, including labor protections, safety standards, social safety nets, and expanded access to education. OpenAI wrote, "The transition to superintelligence will require an even more ambitious form of industrial policy, one that reflects the ability of democratic societies to act collectively at scale to shape their economic future so that superintelligence benefits everyone." Iran has warned of further attacks on data centers across the Middle East in response to ongoing threats and airstrikes from the U.S. Iran's military said if the U.S. went ahead with its threats to hit its civilian infrastructure, the country would retaliate with its own strikes against U.S. energy and tech infrastructure in the region, according to a video released late last week and shared widely on Sunday of Iranian military spokesperson Ebrahim Zofargari. The video released by Iran shows an image of a globe, then zooming in on the Stargate data center in the United Arab Emirates, with the message of, "Nothing stays hidden to our sight, though hidden by Google." Stargate is a $500 billion joint venture between OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle to build AI data centers, announced in January of last year. The initiative originally struggled to get off the ground due to alleged funding troubles and costs associated with tariffs, and sought to expand with new data centers internationally. The latest threat comes after U.S. President Donald Trump threatens to strike Iran's civilian infrastructure, like power plants and water desalination plants, by the end of Tuesday if Iran doesn't reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global shipping channel that has choked global supply chain traffic since the start of the war in February. Several data centers in the region have already been hit by missiles as a result of the war. Iranian missiles struck Amazon Web Services data centers in Bahrain and an Oracle data center in Dubai. Iran also threatened tech companies including Nvidia and Apple by name last week. That's all for now. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.